Iran has delivered a blunt warning to its neighbors. Iraq, Kuwait, the UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, and Turkey. Host U.S. military forces at your peril. For doing so could draw you into the line of fire. This is no vague threat. Iran has declared that any country permitting U.S. operations from its soil during an attack on Iranian territory will be deemed a hostile actor, facing severe consequences. The words, sharp and deliberate, echo across a region already on edge, amplifying fears of a broader conflict. This warning arrives amid a flurry of escalating developments. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has placed Iran's armed forces, including the formidable Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, on high alert, a clear signal of Tehran's readiness to defend its sovereignty. The catalyst? U.S. President Donald Trump's renewed threats of military action, a drumbeat that has intensified since his March 30th pledge to bomb Iran unless it agrees to a new nuclear deal. Iran has rejected direct negotiations with Washington, Supreme Leader Khamenei unwavering in his stance, yet a faint glimmer of diplomacy persists. Tehran signals openness to indirect talks through intermediaries like Oman, a channel to test America's sincerity for a political resolution. But words alone cannot mask the military buildup, casting shadows over the Persian Gulf. The United States has bolstered its presence in the region, deploying additional warplanes to the Middle East. Reports confirm up to 6 B-2 stealth bombers now stationed at Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean, a strategic perch within striking range of Iran. This is not a subtle maneuver. It is a show of force, a reminder of America's capacity to act. Iran's response is equally resolute. Khamenei has vowed that any U.S. aggression will be met with a strong blow, underscoring the nation's determination to retaliate against any incursion. The message to its neighbors sharpens this resolve. Neutrality is not just preferred, it is expected. Iran's warning is not without precedent. History offers a clear pattern. Tehran has repeatedly cautioned regional states against facilitating attacks on its soil, a stance rooted in its fierce defense of sovereignty. Today, that message reverberates with renewed urgency. The responses from neighboring countries paint a complex picture. Kuwait has moved quickly, reassuring Iran of its neutrality and pledging not to allow aggression from its territory. Others, Iraq, Qatar, Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates, and Turkey, have remained silent or unresponsive, their positions unclear amid the growing pressure. These nations host large U.S. military assets. Qatar's Al Udeid Air Base, Bahrain's naval facilities, and bases in Iraq, each a potential launchpad for American operations. Iran's caution places them in a precarious bind: align with Washington and risk Tehran's wrath, or defy the U.S. and upend decades of strategic partnerships. The geopolitical landscape grows ever more intricate. Russia and China, vocal supporters of Iran's peaceful nuclear ambitions, as affirmed in their March 14th trilateral statement, loom in the background, ready to condemn U.S. actions at the United Nations. The E3, Britain, France, and Germany, grapple with their own response, debating the reimposition of UN sanctions with a deadline approaching in June. These global currents swirl around the Persian Gulf, where the balance of power teeters on a knife's edge. Iran's armed forces stand vigilant, their missile bases primed, their radars, like the recently deployed Ghadir systems, scanning the skies. The U.S., with its bombers and naval might, signals readiness for confrontation. Yet amidst this brinkmanship, the faint hope of indirect talks through Oman lingers, a thread that could pull both sides back from the abyss. The stakes could not be higher. The Persian Gulf, a vital artery of global energy, risks becoming a flashpoint. A miscalculation, a single strike, a misinterpreted move could ignite a firestorm, drawing in not just Iran and the U.S., but their allies and proxies across the region. Iraq's militias, Yemen's Houthis, and Israel's Air Force all wait in the wings, each a potential escalator of conflict. For now, Iran's warning hangs heavy over its neighbors, a demand for neutrality in a region where neutrality is a luxury few can afford. As of now, world stands at a crossroads. Will diplomacy prevail through quiet channels, or will the weight of military might tip the scales toward war? The answer remains unwritten, but the consequences, should this delicate equilibrium shatter, will be felt far beyond the Middle East.